Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
The Bag Lady by David F. Schultz. Breathing seems so loud when you want to stay hidden. Like molasses, cowering in the closet, peering through the crack. It floated there in the center of the lawn. Escape was possible. Eerily silent. The vacant penthouse had a hallucinatory quality. Dimly lit in blue, through the tall glass windows that spanned the wall were many distant pinpricks of white.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
Water. The Bag Lady changed form. Her clothes, but a subtle morphing. Fish scales, briefly, but again becoming. Bedraggled hair was seaweed, then tentacles, each topped with an eyeball, only they weren't, except for it was a monstrous mouth of some deep sea horror, ringed with ropes, large to fit in the room. There, altering its form like camouflage, playing with the images and thoughts all called from its victims.
Hello, I'm Rain.
Shiver of pursuit up by a nightmare. A cold gate. The air was thickened mud. Limbs slowed.
What is it, Ray?
I have a plan.
You do? Enlighten me.
Maybe Ellis should stay with us.
With our track record, if she gets killed anywhere near us, we'll be sent to jail, whether we did it or not.
That's cold.
I'm just being practical. Ellis's fate is in our hands. Ours isn't.
The vision vanished, and an alternative was offered. It wouldn't eat me, at least for now. It needed help with it. Human mind to wear. I agreed to help. Thought to the Bag Lady that it will do no good for its disguise to float, since human beings don't float, except in water, and its disguise would be less unsettling if it had eyes, and were less of a corpse. But the entity did not understand the concept of water or air, floating or standing.
I'm Zach Weston, just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
on a steadily dwindling income from prostitution as age, drugs, and until she ended up in the clutches of the entity. The entity had devoured her and taken her form with a horror. The disguise was decomposed. Not decomposing flesh, but decomposing reality. Of fears and haunting memories. A corporeal phantasm of nightmares, fraying at the understand human perception. Its present disguise, but had other uses for me. Spidery fingers wrenched open my jaw, fingers with far too its bile-stained mouth over my own and regurgitated a involuntary gag as the worm wriggled around my tongue and throat coated with mucus. But up into my nasal cavity, and then up further. Panic, panic! And gradually, as the worm settled, panic made way for dread. The worm was inside my skull, inside my brain. Drifted back to the center of the room, along with the worm. It would eat me if I refused.
We've got a new target, Alice Monroe. Alice said she was in a relationship with Dorota. She kissed a girl and she liked it. She told you where John Pope, or Poe, is going to be next. Rain still says he was praying in his room, alone. Bronwyn was logged into a call centre system called Paratasm. I heard the recordings from last night. It's her voice. So as much as it pains me to say it, Bronwyn isn't a suspect. But Lexi and Rain still are. Rain's confirmed he met Alice at the radio station. Picking his next victim, maybe? Lexi's doing some investigating for you. As if that'll help. Rain told you about the Butcher of Birmingham. It's a thing. Made an interesting read. Those tarot readers hang out with death. His explanation of it, it's all fairy tales, so I'm not getting involved. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. Violet told you about her brush with aliens? You seem far too interested in those kind of things. Zach Weston says he was in his studio last night. No one corroborates. And he keeps asking Ellis to pose nude. Could be motive. Oscar's in the clear. He was playing football last night. He said that Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet. Not many people would know that. That's it.
The answer was nothing, which may have been precisely the point.
It's 9 o'clock and you're listening to Radio August. Investigations into the murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw are continuing this evening. Miss Shaw was found dead in her home at approximately 10 p.m. last night in what police are describing as a puzzling case. Residents are urged to be cautious until the perpetrator is caught. I cannot stress this enough, August. Stay safe out there. You mean the world to me. In other news, Monroe has been detained on urgent business, so you're stuck with me until she returns. Never fear, Monroe fans. We still have lots of pre-recordings, so you can relax with her angelic tones. That's 9 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Which is true in a way. And we went to the top floor of that building.
You're the detective. Monroe just called. This is madness. Who would want to hurt her? We've worked together for years. She's the light to my shade, the angel to my demon, the diamond to my lump of coal. She told me to say all those things. Heavens, no. I have a wife and 3 children, beloved spawn of my loins. Monroe and I are good friends, that's all. Only a madman. Or woman. Monroe is August's sweetheart. Poe and Monroe. That was her idea. Our show. We were just another local radio station before that. It was Monroe who decided we should have a theme. Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe. Don't tell me you haven't heard it, detective. That's what the Free Radio Project is all about. Uniting August via the airwaves. Monroe's been delivering free radios anywhere people might want to listen. Doctors' surgeries, hairdressers, the guest house. I believe she charmed the local electrical store into donating them, in exchange for free advertising, of course. We interviewed her about her scholarship not too long ago. Do you think whoever killed Dorota plans to kill Monroe? What makes you think she's in danger? Arrow. Does this have anything to do with the gentleman who stopped by? I didn't get his name, I'm afraid. He offered to do a spot on our show, doing tarot readings to answer listener questions. We said we'd think about it. You know, this town is fascinating. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Have you ever read up on the real history of August? The official story is that Mary August retired from a life on the high seas, found a nice spot here, and used her ill-gotten gains to establish a town. But that's not what really happened. It's true that Mary August was a pirate, but she didn't retire. Her ship was sunk on the rocks just off the coast. Mary and all of her crew sought refuge in a small fishing town, this one. They slaughtered everyone, men, women, and children, all dead and dismembered in their own homes. The bodies were dumped in a mass grave. Well, the body parts. And the pirates moved in. No one knows. It seems at some point it was built over and then forgotten about. It could be under the school, or the church, or right beneath our feet. On that note, I should probably get back to the booth. The show must go on. Death threats be damned. Look after Monroe, detective. She's the only Monroe I've got.
Tonight, I'll go looking for trouble. The gates of madness open.
Hey, I'm going. There's too many people asking questions. It's exhausting. I'm off to stay at my aunt's. I'll come back tomorrow, but I've said everything I can say.
More anonymous than the tube and fewer cameras. Pulled up the hood and walk out into the rain. The Pentonville Road beckons, and I lose myself in the dingy side streets. It's late.
Oh, it's you. I was hoping it might be Zach. No? Oh, him, yes. I've heard him on the radio. Never met in real life, though. Are you mocking me, Sam? No, I have never met the man. No. And I've got some very important news for him if he ever shows up. Yes. If he ever shows up. Yes, now I remember. It's the one in the hall. Sometimes cuts through the unbearable silence in this place. Not really. I expected her to be blonde for some reason.
I don't know how many the beast could take.
Sorry, Sam, what can I do for you? Yeah, I always cry around this time of night. What's the point, Sam, huh? If we can't save them. Mercury is a curse. It's like some tourist guide for murders. I try for Alexi and Rain to make them think that we can make a difference, make a change, but we haven't so far. What if we can't make a change? Maybe if we could just save one person, Sam. Alice. We need to save her. We need to. Yes, she's definitely got a monkey on her back. I saw her get changed. She's got all these scars on her back in the shape of a monkey. Like they've been burned into her. What the hell happened to her, Sam? Yes, I managed to sneak a look at her laptop. She's been Googling Alice Munro.
That worked out pretty well. Programming makes me good money. I can work from home and no one misses me if I drop out of circulation for a week or two.
Honestly, you don't. Once they're caught, a few hours later, they've hopped timelines into someone else. We just keep chasing them, continuously trying to stop them ruining lives. Yes, but it kills the vessel too. So, you could have a traveler inside you right now, and if I killed you, you'd both be dead. I'm not sure.
Dark walls with a shuttered double door, just a drunk taking a piss. I stagger into the killing ground. For a moment, I think the footsteps are going to pass, but he, and it is always he, is just being...
It was weird. Zach thought he'd already met me. Why would that be, Sam? That's what I thought, although I'm sure he said my name. Anyway, I did find out one thing. He has a massive collection of books about serial killers. What's that about? He's off the radio. I don't really know him. Actually, I'm glad you're here. I really, really want to do a reading for you right now. You know, to help. Great. Let me just draw 3 cards for you. This is just a general reading. You don't need a question. Okay. Oh, the 2 of Cups. That's mysterious. Is there anyone you feel a spark of attraction to? Maybe someone you've met recently? The Lovers. I did not expect that. It seems this attraction has the potential to be life-changing, if you want it to be. And finally, the Knight of Cups. This card is about pursuing your heart's desire. I think it's time to tell that someone special how you really feel. Wow, what an interesting reading. Does it mean anything to you? You catch on quickly, don't you, Sam?
as it spills out, greedily lapping it like a cat at pool of spilt milk. A great warm surge of energy courses through me, just a trickle of the stream the slayer.
I find the whole subject fascinating. What makes them tick, nature or nurture? The FBI's behavioral science unit profiled your average serial killer as a white male in his late 20s. Not very progressive, is it? Probably right here. Why? I didn't realize I was under house arrest. Thanks for the advice. I hope I'm not the only suspect.
Square at last, so full.
I delivered radios all over town. I don't think I should have bothered with some of them, though. I don't think... Violet, is it? I don't think Violet liked me very much. Maybe. I don't know why anyone would be threatened by me, though. I'm not interested in stealing anyone's man.
Then there's another long walk through the rain, the tiredness dragging on my legs and muscles taut with cramp. Safe home at last. A one-bedroom flat.
Oh, it's you. I was hoping it might be Zach. Yes. Should I be surprised you've seen it? Years ago, tattoos and piercings were frowned upon, but they're all in vogue now. Maybe branding scars will be in fashion too.
Next time, and another after that. It can be normal for a while, but in the longer term, I can see no end to it. Yeah, how long it will continue, so I am left with the image of myself 60 years from now, battering a victim with my walking frame to feed the beast. The old man walked down the alley.
Sam, I've got some heavy rain news. Lawrence Petrovsky, that's his real name, and no, he's not a Russian spy, but he does have a criminal record. He was charged with the murder of a 21-year-old artist. Looks like he got off on a technicality by all accounts. About 3 months ago in Hong Kong. Be careful, Sam. If you're going to ask him about this, it could be a flight risk. And you know, there's a good chance he could be the killer. Door's behind you.
It's now 10 o'clock. Here's your August update. Investigations deepen into last night's murder of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw. Miss Shaw, a talented cellist who had recently been granted a place at Juilliard, was found strangled at her home last night. With the murderer still at large, Chief DuPont has urged residents to remain calm and stresses there is almost no chance of anyone else being harmed. Alice, if you're listening, let me know you're okay. In other news, a handful of August residents have reported seeing strange lights in the sky earlier this evening. The lights, which witnesses describe as searingly bright, were spotted over the east edge of town, past the fire station. Have you seen any strange lights? Or for that matter, little green men? Let me know. That's 10 o'clock with Ho. His face. These tattoos are a reminder that some things are best left unseen. I can tell I have the only one.
Well, I wish I hadn't seen this.
Poe's curiosity shop is now closed.
A who, what, Petrov's what? I don't think so.
I didn't know where she came from.
Oh, it's you. I was hoping it might be Zach.
My car. Naturally, I slammed on the...
It rings a bell, but no. Sorry, Sam.
No denying that sickening thump. When my car finally...
It's a lovely place. It has the third most high-rise buildings of any city in the world. So that's what this is about. Chief Dupont has finally dug up my old record. I am Lawrence Petrovsky. Victoria Cheng, a very good painter. I didn't kill her, though. I was trying to save her. Hong Kong. It was our third encounter with a traveller. We'd managed to trap her on the roof of an apartment complex. Roughly translated, the building was called Flight, which was ironic. When the traveller realised we had it cornered, it tried to jump off. I managed to grab Victoria's ankle, but I couldn't hold on. Hong Kong being Hong Kong, there was about 37 tourists that filmed the whole thing. So to some people, it looked like I was dangling her over the edge of a building to meet her doom. I wasn't. I was trying to save her.
Lights came on, and the annoying ding sounded to remind me that the...
Oh, it's you. I was hoping it might be Zach.
lay unnaturally twisted atop the pavement. I wanted to say...
Thanks for trying to cheer me up. We chased her up onto a rooftop, and she jumped. Rain almost saved her, but he couldn't hold on. Chief Dupont dragged that up, I suppose.